We're going to give you a demonstration on just how durable this new way is. Watch this. Now, if you take a look at this, there's not even any cracks in it.
Just a heartbreaking update, but hopefully some closure for the family. We're here at the Middletown access point on South Union Street. We're going to give you a look at what we can see. We are pulled back from the river at this point.
This is the inspection sticker from the state, but right next to it should be the okay from the state police. And they tell us the number of the violations they found was alarming.
Sherry, now when we got here around 1:30 this morning, it was so dark out you could barely see anything, but take a look at just the damage that this storm has left behind. We are currently across the street in the Wyoming Valley Mall parking lot. This is Mundy Street that you're seeing where this possible tornado ripped through. This new type of treatment court requires an offender to show up here to the courthouse 5 times a week and face a judge. They say it's not going to be easy for a participant, but it may save their life. Definitely a lot of excitement here, a lot of cheers erupting during Scott Wagner's speech. You can take a look around the room. There's still a lot of supporters here taking pictures, really celebrating this moment. We're going to show you up here this tree. Actually, we were on our way to another report of trees down in the Dover area, and we came upon this. You can see this tree is down, completely covering Mill Creek Road. Traffic has been turning around here.
2 candles remain lit here on the field where Bill Wolf spends his spare time coaching. Tonight, his family, his friends, the community gathered here praying and hoping that he's alive.
Mayor Helfrich just spoke to us very briefly. All he could tell us was that multiple firefighters have been injured, and this is an active scene, and it will continue to be an active scene for quite some time. Both of Deputy Marshall Hill's children go to the Northeastern School District, and when students got wind of this, they sent a simple tweet, which turned into this over here, a sea of blue in support of his family. Just take a look at the number of fire trucks here today. This is just an amazing sight, of course, with the American flag draping over top, but just dozens of fire trucks, a lot of them with that black bunting on the front of them, showing their support for their brothers here in York City. The Game Commission actually sets up donuts leading up to the trap, so when the bear crawls inside, it will reach the back pedal, and that's when the door will shut. Earlier, we showed you a chair with wings that was being carved. Well, take a look at this. This is actually a dog that is being carved right now. Al, you know, when we got here around 1 this morning, we couldn't really see much, but now we really want to show you what we can see at this point. Now that the sun has come up, we're going to show you first the U-Haul dealership and the furniture store. You can see the furniture store has just been completely torn off, the U-Haul sign completely gone. There has been U-Haul trucks, we're told, that have been just thrown up and down Mundy Street here in Wilkes-Barre Township. And then as we come down here to the Nissan dealership, you can see there's a car on its roof, other cars severely damaged, and just the amount of debris here strewn across the roadways and in this parking lot. Now that the sun has come up, it's just amazing to see what has happened here. Of course, there's a ton of power lines down, some power poles have been knocked down, PPL is on scene, and a lot of other places here on scene really checking this out, and we're told the National Weather Service will be here. We spoke with officials a little earlier this morning, and we will have more from them coming up in the 6 o'clock hour.
2 candles remain lit here on the field where Bill Wolf spends his spare time coaching. Tonight, his family, his friends, the community gathered here praying and hoping that he's alive.
Holding hands and hoping that one of their own will be found soon.
It's just very difficult, very difficult.
Friends and family of Bill Wolf filled the baseball field where he can usually be found coaching Little League, just one of many sports he coaches.
Bill's just a good guy, just a great guy. The kids that he involves with his wrestling and his football and stuff, everybody loves him.
Family tells us Bill was on an anniversary trip in Las Vegas with his wife Robin, enjoying the music festival when it turned deadly. His aunt Dora Wolf says he was shot, but that's all they know.
The sad part is that his wife and he were separated when it occurred, and she has had no word as to what hospital he's in, what his condition is. And the waiting is what's the most heartbreaking thing for all of the family, for everyone. but especially for her.
While the hours drag on for the family, they say they find comfort in a community that stands up when a family is down.
He was loved. He is loved, absolutely loved.
Everybody just dropped whatever they were doing and decided we needed to come to Dock Norcross and support Bill's family.
And his family tells us that they want everyone here in Central PA to share a photo of him to any of their friends, family, or connections in Las Vegas, hoping someone has seen him or knows his condition. They say anything would help. You can find all of that information on our website, CBS21.com. Live in Shippensburg, Erika Shych, CBS 21 News. This is 4.5-year-old Isaiah Martin. This video went viral yesterday after his teachers recorded him singing the Eagles' fight song. Today we got to meet the Lancaster native and learned more about his love for the birds. Isaiah Martin is anything but shy. That's why his mom says when she picked him up from school yesterday, it was no surprise that the 4.5-year-old had performed for his class.
They said, well, we kind of think it might garner some attention. He really did a really cute rendition of the Eagles song for us. And I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, okay.
This video of Isaiah singing the Eagles' fight song posted by Schreiber Pediatric Rehab in Lancaster has had more than 295,000 views and thousands of shares on Facebook.
He just has a personality that just radiates, and I think it came across in that video.
Isaiah has a severe form of osteogenesis imperfecta, or OI, that causes his bones to break easily.
Go Eagles, that's right.
But it hasn't slowed him down or affected his love for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Road to victory. We actually were lucky enough to meet a few of the Eagles, and I think that's what really sealed the deal. I mean, we've always kind of, pushed the Eagles on him a little bit because we've been Eagles fans our whole lives.
It really brings him, not that he has much of a shell, but it brings him out. He loves being the center of attention and more or less performing for people.
And while the Super Bowl is past his bedtime, they say he'll be staying up late Sunday to cheer on his birds.
I wouldn't feel bad for him. His life might be a little tougher than the average person, but he absolutely loves what he does every day.
So adorable. And his dad tells us if the Eagles win, he'd love to take Isaiah to the parade, but says it may be a little hard to do. He tells us, though, he'd just be happy with a win on Sunday. For Thomas Piles,
knowing to have your best friend gone, it destroyed me.
The search for his brother Eric never ends. In December of 2000, Eric got off his school bus in Jonestown, Lebanon County, and never returned home.
We spent hours beyond hours, weeks by weeks, looking for him and found nothing. He just up and gone, vanished.
Today, the case remains unsolved.
Once in a while, right out to where he went missing and trying to sit there and wrap my head around it a little bit, and I can't figure it out.
Eric's case is registered with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. This is the photo that his family provided when he went missing, and this is the composite that the center has made to show what he may look like today. This composite is made by a team of forensic artists, and to understand how this becomes this, we traveled to Alexandria, Virginia to meet the team.
When a child goes missing and they've been missing 2 years or longer, they hit that 2-year mark, they're considered a long-term case. And what we want to do is age progress their photo.
Christy Andrews works in the forensic imaging unit at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, taking photos like Eric's and age progressing them. Eric's photo is one of more than 6,500 that the center has worked on since its inception in 1990.
Right off the bat, David has a lot of similarities between himself and his father. The nose is very similar, the cheeks.
When a case comes to their desk, the first thing they request is photos of family members.
We take a look at them, again, how is that family aging? Who do they look like? We have to look at the parents and find out, whose eyes are these? Whose nose is this?
But it's not just family traits and features that they take into consideration. They also ask for details of the case that may help them.
If that child's taken by a parent, they may be living fairly comfortably. versus, again, a runaway child who may be living on the street or might be smoking, doing drugs. That affects how you age.
Using Adobe Photoshop, the child's face is carefully morphed into what the artist believes the child may look like today. It can take up to 8 hours to complete. For Thomas, it's difficult to look at both the composite and the original photo of his brother.
It's hard to see him. I mean, especially his the school picture. It's really hard to see. I mean, because that's you know, I get to thinking that's what he looked like the last time I see him.
But for Andrews, who spends hours looking at each detail, it's her job.
You kind of feel like you know each child a little bit, and kind of have a little, not a bond, but you know, kind of a rapport with this person, even though you've never met them.
NCMEC says of these 6,500 cases where an age progression has been done, more than 1,300 children have been found.
Even if that age progression hasn't affected the case too much, you kind of feel like you've done your part in a little way.
But for these composites to play a role in finding these missing children, the center says they need your help.
Our job doesn't mean anything unless people look at these composites.
They can be found on mailers, at certain stores like Walmart, and by going to the center's website. For the family of Eric Piles, they hope the public takes the time and looks, because they say you never know who you may recognize.
If they see somebody that resembles them, call the police department, call somebody, reach out, because 18 years, but it's been a long time.